WIIFTV PM.
WIIFTVP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTVP. Media's just for you and me.
Monster Jam. Coming to Allstate Arena September 17th through 19th. Brought to you by BKT Tires. Visit monsterjam.com for event details. You have to see it live, so get your tickets today.
Riis Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them.
Be like me said. Randy said a Jukathon one day.
Man, we about 60 years old. I'd be done had a heart
You gotta
attack.
get your heart rate up.
Okay, not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah.
I don't like that one.
Because I'm the boss of this thing.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool.
How about National Join a Positive Black Organization Day? Because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
What about my love? Seems you have forgotten love. I do believe that something went wrong somewhere. What about my feelings? Do they mean anything at all? You got me so in love, I'm too blind to see. Now that you got my love, now you wanna put me down. Now that you got my love, got me standing on shaky ground. What about it, baby? What about the days and the nights we spent? What about the love we made so sweet? Are you sure you wanna live? Think it over, baby. 'Cause girl, I believe. I think you just might wanna change your mind. Put your hands together. Put your hands together. Before you leave out the door, before you leave out the door, baby, won't you change your mind? Really wish you would change your mind. Now that you got my love, you don't even come around. Now that you got my love, you got me standing on shaky ground. Now that you got my love, you don't come around. Now that you got all my love, you got me standing on shaky ground. Put your hands together. Put your hands together. Oh my, I had a conversation with her. This is how it went. Before you leave out the door, before you leave out the door, baby, won't you change your mind? Oh, Lord have mercy. 'Cause I need you and you need me. I know we can be happy. Just wait and see. Baby, won't you change your mind? I'll do better if you change your mind. Now that you got my love, you don't even come around. Now that you got my love, got me standing on shaking. Now that you got my love, you don't even come around. Now that you got my love, you got me standing on shaky Baby, won't you change your mind? Baby, won't you change your mind? Oh no, I've been hoping, baby. I've been praying, baby. Yes, I have. Baby, won't you change your mind? Oh no. I've been hoping, baby, yeah. I've been praying down on my knees, praying that you change your mind. Oh, Lord have mercy, I'll do better if you change your mind.
I press decline and you keep calling it. Give you some love and you want all of it. I'm out here working, nigga, get a grip. I'm just trying to touch a mill if you just wanna coexist. I say you clingy and you contradict. Give you my heart, you think it's counterfeit. Give you my word and you won't trust in it. What's the point of loving me if you don't know what trust is? I need the is you give now. Please don't back down on me. I know you've got the attention I need. Put your pride aside for me. Oh, 'cause I need that ease. Put your pride aside for me. That ease. While I'm out trying to get that ease. Know that I need that ease. side for me, baby. You're insecure, it's driving me crazy. I'm trying to get it and you keep on saying it. All my love is never enough. I put up with you for too long, now I'm over it. You want affection, I need money, I'ma call it quits. That is. Put your pride aside for me. That is. Why was I trying to get it? That is. Put your pride aside for me.
WIFTBPM.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stoger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you can put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host in the building, Miss Ruth M. Moore. All right, now.
It's Thursday, right?
It's Thursday. It's Thursday.
Thursday.
No, it's Wipe Down Thursday.
It's Thursday.
It's Wipe Down.
No, Wednesdays are thirsty, Maze.
No, you saying Thursday? No, Wednesdays. See, it's week of Wednesday, so you gotta have Wipe Down Thursdays because the plastic on the seats. But I be extra. I get the bleach wipes out. And yesterday, I'm glad y'all ain't have dude in the studio. Cause first of all, Riis, I was like, he wasn't hitting that much, that. Come on, man, 24 hours, like, Doug, that's physically impossible. That's your boy Ron. There go your boy DJ Ron Rilla setting you up. But that, you know what that also is, Mr. GM?
Uh-oh.
That's supposed to be in. Check your joints. You know, you're supposed to have the checklist cracking. Like, wires on, sound check. So when we hit the button, you supposed to be like, "You did DJ Riis." So you wouldn't have been able to. If I would have threw the mic to you, you would have been ready. I wouldn't even been. It wouldn't have even been. Blessed by the best, you already know the rest. You wouldn't even been able to say that if I would have tossed the mic to you.
The Lord knew it wasn't my time to say it. So that's the reason why he said sound check first. You ain't ready for me yet. So yeah. How you know that man struggled, man? That man probably
that didn't seem like he was struggling.
I'm just saying, but that man
24 hours straight, dog. Straight.
24 hours straight. He said that he had it was an addiction that he had to have at least 3 to 5 different women a day.
Where did he find these women?
He said that it was a club or like, I guess like a little club lounge thing that he would go, and there's a hotel right across the street. So he'd pick them up. He'd go
Was
there.
he paying?
He said paying. He said it's free. You ain't him. He said it's free.
I missed part of that, dog. I was like, look, man, I was like, the grandkids coming over this weekend. I can't let too much be in the house. I can't be having all the spirits, right? Right. But just so you do know, Riis, you are gonna be the sponsor at TP. You will be the sponsor of the swag pack. We're gonna be like DJ, like we gonna have people coming to TP to get the swag pack, courtesy of DJ Riis the Ruler. Cause man,
the promo, they gonna call me one day.
They are. I'm gonna tell you, we gonna make you a star. You're gonna be a swag pack star. All right, y'all. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But I gotta say what's up to my girl Ruthie. How you feeling this morning?
I'm tired.
You tired? Ruthie, you too young to be tired. Life is for living. Get up. You supposed to take. Do you? Let me ask a question.
It's like one of them old steel mill workers.
Do you start your day clock at 6 or do you start it at 9? Realistically, like
I was gonna say at like 4:30.
No. Okay, so but when you think of work, like when you think of your day ending,
when my body wake me up and say, "Oh, you got to go do the morning show."
What about in the nighttime though? Like when do you stop? Like when do you say is like your official stop? Like say I'm
pretty busy. I'm on the board of a nonprofit. I got 2 businesses.
Dang, G.
I don't know. Probably 9:00.
Okay, that's fair.
That's when I like shut it off.
You'd be like, all right,
try to turn my brain off.
Okay, and then do you watch TV?
It's so hard. I always fall asleep.
Man.
It's like a luxury to me, TV. Like if I literally am sitting and watching TV, that means I don't got nothing else to do.
Because you're going to go to sleep. Do you feel obligated to stay awake?
No.
Like, so if at 9 o'clock you sleepy, you will go to bed at 9 o'clock?
What? But you know what? I'll probably wake up at like 2.
Okay. I feel like obligated to be up till at least like 11.
No, when my body say go, I'm like, okay.
Really? Oh, okay.
I love sleep.
Do you?
I love naps.
I want to. I feel like a failure sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was just gonna say that, like, I love naps too, but if I take a nap and then I wake up and I try to like do something I knew I should have did and I don't do it, the first thing I say was, man, I should never took that nap, man.
Man, I feel like they are. I'm just now learning to appreciate sleep because I used to feel like, you know how they used to say, Nas used to say, look at me, I'm about to give y'all a Nas quote, sleep is the cousin of death. Right? I felt like if I was sleeping, I wasn't hustling. Now I want to be in a place where when I'm sleeping, I'm still making money.
I know that's right.
Right? Like I want to be like, how much did I make overnight? How much?
I know.
Hey, Mr. Jackson, here go you in the morning. Do you ever watch The Crown? Okay, so I had a stint while I was at the crib and I watched The Crown, and every morning the Queen got a box of all the stuff that she had to sign and all the interest and all the stuff, and be like, I'm rich. Yep, still rich. Rich in the mud. Hell yeah, I got plenty of diamonds. Oh, yep. How many rubies, pearls? Yep. Oh, I still own the country of Zimbabwe. I still own Africa. Cool. All right. Yep. We still own Jamaica. Oh, yeah, y'all got to get the windows fixed. That. Yeah. I want to be that rich. Like, I want to wake up and roll over, and they be like, sir? And I want somebody to, like, see, that's why if I'm going to be rich, I got to decide if I'm going to have white servants or black staff. Because if I have white people, they're going to be servants. If I got black people, they're going to be staff. They're going to be cool in the mud.
They're going to be staff.
Like, everybody know what they got to do. They got their role, you know what I'm saying? But your job going to be cool. Why you hating on Facebook? Just because we wanted y'all to merge. We want the Facebook, YouTube audiences. So, can I tell y'all? YouTube, I feel bad. Because y'all was...
comments together?
Yeah, I mixed the comments together. But what was dope yesterday was the YouTube people was like about to... Man, people was straight up like, hey, dog, don't even come over here messing with YouTube. If you change anything over here, we not coming over to Facebook. So you just lose us. People was like straight up talking smack. But shout out to the YouTube audience. I appreciate y'all. But no, I do feel like a failure when I take a nap sometimes. But then, Ruthie, like I remember when I learned to turn the TV off and when I went to sleep. And it felt like I got 4 more hours of sleep. 4 more hours of sleep.
I can see that.
All right. It's the Mace Jackson Show. Ruthie Moore is repping on for Thursday. She like...
Thirsty Thursday.
It's Wipe Down Thursday.
That don't even it don't even start with the same letter.
You would say
have alliteration.
Can I tell you what? If you would have been here when I was wiping the chest down this morning, you'd have been like, it's Wipe Down Thursday instead of all right. All right, check this out. Let's say what's Tennille is shady.
Shady boots.
Tennille trying to be like she woke up. What you woke up shady? Oh Lord. I've done that a few times. I just brought your attention to it today. Settle down, simmer down, simmer down. All right, Riis the Ruler. What up, dog? I see you got your happy smiley face. You know what you should do? You should have like a hat with your different moods on it. And then we know how you feel in the morning, right? That's a little like, you know what I'm saying? You can make like one with the red, with the, that'd be a little, one of your things. How you feeling this morning, man?
That's about the best. You already know the rest. How y'all doing today?
Oh man, we good, man. I saw you trying to creep up on some numbers yesterday.
A little bit, just out here.
That's I see.
Trying to do a little something.
Riis around, because I'm telling you, Riis been around here. I've been telling people that's good. I don't have to be that bad guy. I be like, Riis said if you don't get 500 views by in 3 weeks, you're gonna get fired.
All together?
No.
Listen, you do a show for 1 week and you got 500 people.
Like all together?
Like 500 people, really. Why are you really doing the show?
Riis.
Five. You've been doing the show since the pandemic. You've been here over a year, and you haven't accumulated 500 views.
Wait, accumulated like all together, right?
Like
no,
1 week
per
from
show.
Wednesday to Wednesday. You don't believe that you can get 500 views?
He said from Wednesday to Wednesday.
From
okay.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
to
that's
Wednesday.
something, but the same show.
I did my show last night, and it's already at 473.
Oh, you're such a champion.
Toot your horn.
No, I'm just saying. You can hit,
I was
you can hit
Riis
live from your home. You can hit live from your home on your own page. It's okay.
I'm gonna check it out. I just fell asleep. I was tired.
Hey man,
Come on late.
It do come on late. I was like, and then we had the new era show. Hey bro, that brother is intense.
Which one?
Brother E. Brother E intense, dog. He like nice but intense. Like I'll be like, you got some pretty big hands, dude. Like you might catch one. Shout out to everybody. Brian Foster was back yesterday. Yeah. He was all fired up. Like, you know what everybody was all, Riis came down here like a boss yesterday. Right, I'm in my meeting trying to get my work done. Hey man, you ain't get your work done. He telling me I ain't get my work done. You know how he be coming in here running the show? Then he want to text me yesterday like, hey, and you need to get your butt down here and get the restream done. I'm like, dang, dog. You get. Then I was about to use my favorite statement, and then I said, I can't go all the way back to slavery. So I said, go Riis. Because I was about to say, boy, you give him a... And I just caught myself and said, I can't say the slavery stuff, so I ain't going to do it. All right, y'all, this is the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Ruthie Moore and DJ Riis the Ruler. We ain't seen Todd all week. I think I might have hurt his feelings when I said forget Todd. He was like, he said forget me.
He was listening.
He be listening, but now he don't even be commenting no more. Because I be checking.
No, he don't want people to ask him, when you coming back? Where you at?
Where you at?
He gonna start listening on YouTube, so we don't know.
Can I tell you? Did y'all know where you at? Guess who did that?
Boost Mobile.
Guess who gave it to Boost Mobile?
Who?
Mace Jackson.
Thank you. the Maze Jackson Show. Let's get the soul plane up off the ground. I am your host, Maze Jackson, DJ Riis the Ruler, and my girl Ruthie Morris. Very quickly, y'all see the new CPS CEO, Pedro Martinez, the new education chief, is the new minority tail. You know how they used to always be like, he came from the projects and he rose from the projects to become the first black Well, now it's she.
Out the mud?
Uh-huh. Well, now he's out of Mexico. But he's doing the same thing. And it's like the new minority story. It was kind of crazy. When you read all the stories and all the tales, you'd be like, dang. If you would have put a black person in, it's like, he came from the hood, the barrio. He came from... Right, and it's just like, man, but I have resigned myself to the fact that the education system is now gone. I'm not tripping, but I need to know who are the black people at the table. Now that we're not in charge, now that we don't at least have a figurehead, who are the black people at the table for black children at the black children in schools? Well, funny.
Somebody who shall remain nameless is mixing Spanish and non-Spanish in the chat.
Okay.
It is hilarious.
Okay, I'm not going to even look because I'll be all distracted. Let me do this before Riis start talking to me. Hey, y'all, welcome to the WBGX 1570 AM audience. We want to thank you all for joining us every day from 6:30 to 8. Now, you can also catch us from 6 to 9 every day on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. No matter how you get us, just get us. We appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Look, Riis, let's take a quick break. I'm going to run through the rest of these headlines, and then we're going to ask the social media question of the day. Yesenia! Not Yesenia. Yesenia! No, I can't even say. I was going to think of something to say, but then I couldn't remember what. We'll be. How you say we'll be back in Spanish? Man, we got to start. Can somebody give me Rosetta? Can I get Rosetta for Christmas? Y'all get me the Rosetta Stone so I can learn how to...
What's on you when you need it, right?
Get me Rosetta.
I need Rosetta Stone. You know what? It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Oh, man. They done messed around and gave New Era Chicago their own radio show. What they do that for?
You done messed up! So what we doing, bro?
Man, we talking about power.
Did you say power?
Not rights and equality, but power. We ain't begging, we build it.
In that order, Chicago, and we got dope segments. Hey, yo, sis, holla at them.
Peace and love, family. It's Sister E of New Era Chicago in the building, dropping the statistics, holistics, and of course the ballistics. Good for the mind, body, and the soul. Let's get it, family.
And this your boy D Cook coming with straight facts. If you don't know, now you know.
And this is your other sister, Omo Oya Music, coming in peace, love, and light, getting real with my people so we can quit with the bull spit.
And this brother E, and I'm gonna wrap it up with the power surge.
Listen, it's going down every Wednesday night, 5 to 6 p.m. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It's the Black Power Hour, New Era Chicago Radio on What's in It for the Black People Media.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
All love it.
Yeah, I love being black. Hey, do this for my people.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
And now, traffic and weather.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 6:34 a.m. and I'm Riis the Ruler with your traffic and weather report. In traffic on the Kennedy from O'Hare to the Loop will be 30 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare will be 24. On the Eden, inbound from Deerfield to the Exchange is 30 minutes. Exchange back out to Deerfield will be 27. On the Eisenhower, Thorndale to the Loop is 41 minutes. Outbound to Thorndale will be 31. On the Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan is 41 minutes. Outbound is 33. The Bishop Ford, I-80 to the Dan Ryan is 39 minutes, 28 minutes back out to I-80. The Dan Ryan is 15 minutes in both directions. That's to the Loop and back out to 95th. DuSable Lakeshore Drive south is 7 minutes. That's 55th to Jackson, as well as Jackson to 55th. And 8 minutes north, that's Randolph to Bryn Mawr, as well as Bryn Mawr back to Randolph. Today's weather, it is currently 64 and clear. Today, expect a high of 81 with a low of 63. I'm Riis the Ruler. Now here's Find Me on the Maze Jackson Show.
Yeah, man. Ideas, man. You don't have to find me. I'm walking right behind you. It's so clear to see that you want to be free.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Miss Ruthie Moore, DJ Riis the Ruler. Hey, Jacinia! I saw your email, your text. Jacinia be texting me sometimes, telling me what's cracking. And she told me about, Jacinia told me that that she told me that she thought it was a sniper on the Dan Ryan. And then did you see yesterday they arrested a man who they said was who they believe was a sniper on the Dan Ryan. Now let me just say that if there was a sniper, then I'm going to say that I really don't believe the mass shooting thing now.
What about how about a serial killer? That's the word I want to use. Serial shooters.
Man, hold on. I'm trying to get his name. Okay, I can't find it right now. But anyway, but there was it was an email. So that's why I'm looking.
Was he in a gang? Was it gang related?
Was it gang? Are they going to sue him for his assets? You such a hater. Yeah, I thought that was kind of crazy.
He had mental health issues.
Nah, you better leave. You better not have him messing up y'all excuse to not come to work. All right, sniper. Let's see how. You know what was so crazy to me about that though? They were super not talkative about it.
No, of course.
Right, like they didn't even.
Normally, it should have been a press conference. We are riddled with crime. Can't even drive down I-57 without a bulletproof Hummer.
Kevin M. Albrecht lives in Blue Island. You know where Blue Island is? Mm-hmm. Right next to Robbins. We might have to send the Robbins squad to go get him. That's crazy, right? Sniper. Hold on, let me read it. Tinley Park, a 42-year-old Blue Island man, was charged with 1 count of attempted first-degree murder and 1 count of aggravated discharge of a firearm following a shooting on Interstate 57 northbound near 147th Street. Around 11:20 p.m., state police say a 42-year-old woman from Manhattan told a nearby police officer that her car had been shot while driving on I-57. The woman was uninjured, but her car was struck by gunfire and the shooter had fled the area, according to police. Around 1:30 p.m. Saturday, state police said agents were searching the 6,000 block of 163rd Place, where a suspect now identified as Kevin M. Albrecht was seen fleeing the area on foot. Now, I just want to say that they put this... They put the cameras up because they had us thinking that it's Negroes having shootouts on the expressway.
Mm-hmm.
Of which they're now going to use the license plate readers to check you for your insurance, though, right? So that they can send you a bill for a ticket for insurance. See how that works? Why is nobody talking about this?
Maybe because they're trying to keep it quiet so that they don't
that we have the
copycats.
You know what? Riis, pull up terrorism. Pull it up.
That is straight up terror. He probably part of a white terror cell.
Pull up terrorism. Shout out to Ness on top of it again. It's all right. You can put it underneath this. But you know what? We put it under that for a minute though, because that's the white domestic terrorists. Y'all heard my man Ness' new song, right? He was talking about this yesterday in the new song about there being domestic terrorists. Ruthie, Do you think if there was a shooter on the expressway, don't this kind of sound like the same thing they could do with the mass shootings? Turn it up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Turn it up just a little bit. More. So they can hear. I'm not talking yet. Turn it up. I'll tell you when to turn it down.
Disrespected the same country that she served, that makes her a traitor. They was fighting police, resisting arrest. On God, I couldn't believe it. I guess blue lives only tend to really matter when it's convenient. Hey, these are the times we witness in history, all because they didn't get a victory. United States is so contradictory. We get equal rights, that's a mystery. Politicians, they more like magicians. You know they got tricks up their sleeve. We point out the flaws that's up in this country. You know they gon' tell us to leave. Somebody try to help me understand it. Always seems like a double standard. They be out here leaving us empty-handed to certain rights we are not granted. The media is the culprit when it comes to the comparison. Cause when it comes to race, they always changing up the narrative.
Riis, bring it down.
They say you a patriot.
Now I'm gonna tell you. Keep bringing it all the way down so I can hear. You can talk. I'm gonna talk over it a little bit. Ruthie, that is straight up like, where is the people all up in arms? Like, and my other part is there a super squad that's going to go find him? Because I don't think he's by himself. Like, this is no different to me than Kyle Rittenhouse. Think about how many unsolved shootings that we haven't even... sometimes when I... Remember when David... What was his name? Ray Lopez came on and said that he believes that there could be some sort of conspiracy. Ruthie, it's... I don't understand why nobody's talking. Why wasn't there a press conference?
Because I believe that they know that there is something larger at play. So they got to keep the investigation close to their chest.
Because do you think that people... Now, let me just ask a question. If that's the case, how do black people respond to this?
The same way we've been responding. We knew it. Black people been talking about that it was a serial. I've been hearing black people say the word serial killer sniper in response to the uptick in shootings. If you legit just go to Google and you type in I-57 sniper, put a space in between sniper, and I-57 is one word, you can literally just go down and look at all of these local news stories about these expressway shootings. So go back and read these stories with the eye that this could possibly, for real, be a white domestic terrorist. And these stories read so much more different.
You know what this makes me... I did kind of breathe a sigh of relief, though. I'm not going to trip. That it was not the black people. And I'm not saying we solved it. But I am saying that this reminds me of, remember when I told y'all they was marching on the Dan Ryan, and I saw them white people out there that had walkie-talkies in their ears and stuff, and I thought they was the police, and then I looked down at their shoes and they wasn't, and the police was like, move out the way, and I was like, how you gonna tell the police to move out the way? Okay. We're going to have to play that song again a little bit later. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Did you see the Latino Powers Connect in the press conference yesterday? Okay, I'm going to pull that press conference up because I think it's important that we see. Like, they said they was dropping all their flags. Like, so it was Chewy leading all the Latinos of all the factions. You know how I've been telling you about all the factions? Mm-hmm. They all was like, hey, it's our time, and we finna come get it right now. And they had a press conference. And it was ridiculous. And they had it at Pilsen. And you know what was the craziest part about them having it at Pilsen? That they had the Black Lives Matter things on the side, on the Pilsen pillars, from when they was, to prove that they wasn't killing us back in the day. Over the thing. I think it's important that people recognize that they are coalesced. Like, they've wasted no time in utilizing the census to their advantage. And as we watch this power shift, which I don't know that we can stop, I got to start asking in this space, Ruthie, who is going to be our voice at the table now? We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Did you see the former speaker settles out of court? Dennis Hastert, at once almost like the third man in line to be the president, found out that he used to be the boys wrestling coach and he did a little bit more than wrestling. Speaker of the House, Dennis Hastert, he settled out of court after doing 18 months. Imagine the old speaker. Do you see how quiet it is that the old speaker, like, I'm not talking about the Speaker of the House like Illinois House. I'm talking about in the country.
Oh.
Denny Hastert. Right? He was the Speaker of the House, third most powerful man in the country. And 20 or 30 years ago when he was a teacher at Yorkville High School, he was molesting boys.
Oh.
And now he was just about to go to trial and they was going to lay out all the dirty details.
Mm-hmm.
And so he settled out of court. But he was using, he got rich.
He sell out of court out of that.
Yeah.
That's kind of...
Because he already served his criminal time. So now the dude was like... So the dude was suing him because he said, you supposed to pay me hush money forever.
Oh, I remember that.
And he didn't. He stopped paying him once he got busted. And he was like, nah, I'm going to sue you.
Mm-hmm.
You still owe me the money. Like, you molested me, you owe me the money. After he had already paid dude $2 million. He was like, nah, that ain't the end of the payment. So he was going to sue him for the rest. Hastert settled out of court. Uh-oh, we froze? Oh, Lord. We done been froze up around here.
It just froze, but Riis not froze.
Oh, okay.
Because you cold, Riis.
No,
You ice cold.
Hey, you know it. You know
He
it.
cold like he's...
You know it. Can I get the blue lights?
Huh?
Can I get the blue lights?
Hey, Doug, you can't request the blue light. All right, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. All the cameras are froze, so we're going to do this. We're going to come right... We're going to keep on rocking and rolling. We're going to do the show like it was a show. And we're going to get them cameras back in a second. Oh, Riis, you straight.
That's
why
what
your
I
camera
said.
straight?
That's what I
Hey, man,
said.
don't nobody care about your
wanted.
camera whack, man.
They left my camera on, man. That's what I'm saying, Ruthie.
Hey, man.
You see, they left my camera on. Look at everybody else that disappear. I'm here, though, y'all. How y'all doing today morning?
Hey, Riis. Let's see. Dang, what done happened? Riis done been back there sabotaging stuff. All right, y'all, let's do this. Let's take a quick break, Riis. Give me some music, and then I'm going to come right back. We're going to get these cameras going, and then we will continue the Maze Jack. Bring back Ness. I like that song. You can let that play. We'll be right back.
Today, the Biden administration is releasing what it calls a new strategy to fight domestic terrorism. Following a 100-day review, federal officials are now laying out a new plan hoping to deter, detect, and prosecute domestic terror.
They went to the Capitol waving their flags and looking for smoke. He was out there looking for justice. They was over there looking for votes. Ashley Babbitt was with him and told all the people that nothing could stop us. She climbed through the Capitol window, breaching security, and called a shot, bro. The media say she a veteran. They paint the picture to make her look greater, but she disrespected the same country that she served. That makes her a traitor. They was fighting police, resisting arrest. On God, I couldn't believe it. I guess blue lives only tend to really matter when it's convenient. Hey, these are the times we witness in history, all because they didn't get a victory. United States is so contradictory. We get equal rights, that's a mystery. Politicians, they more like magicians. You know they got tricks up their sleeve. We point out the flaws that's up in this country. You know they gon' tell us to leave. Somebody try to help me understand it. Always seems like a double standard. They be out here leaving us empty-handed. To certain rights we are not granted. The media is the culprit when it comes to the comparison. Cause when it comes to race, they always changing up the narrative. Terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. We still out here trying to get our reparations, but the government pump faking out here hesitating. I'm out here trying to keep my peace, so I keep meditating. The media make us look bad, they taint our reputation. Look, it's so sad that COVID causing toe tags. You claim you so patriotic, but you ain't wearing no mask. You out here wildin' with your MAGA flags and showing your ass. You wanna be part of some type of revolution so bad. Look, you talk revolution and constitutional rights, homie. I guess we forgot about back in the days when all of the business was whites only. Yeah. George Floyd got justice. Juneteenth got much respect. They made it a national holiday. Man, it's all good, but cut the check. They're giving out all of these vaccines, putting it in you like caffeine. Was it all in the part of the plan? I bet money like DraftKings. It's land of the free, home of the brave. 1776, we wasn't free till 1865, so we wasn't part of that shit. And that there's terrorism.
Today, the Biden administration is releasing what it calls a new strategy to fight domestic terrorism. Following a 100-day review, federal officials are now laying out a new plan hoping to deter, detect, and prosecute domestic terror.
They went to the Capitol waving their flags and looking for smoke. We was out there looking for justice. They was over there looking for votes. Ashley Babbitt was with them and told all the people that nothing could stop us. She climbed through the Capitol window, breached security, and called a shot, bro. The media say she a veteran. They paint the picture to make her look greater, but she disrespected the same country that she served. That makes her a traitor. They was fighting police, resisting arrest. On God, I couldn't believe it. I guess blue lives only tend to really matter when it's convenient. Hey, these are the times we witness in history, all because they didn't get a victory. United States is so contradictory. We get equal rights, that's a mystery. Politicians, they more like magicians. You know they got tricks up their sleeve. We point out the flaws that's up in this country. You know they gon' tell us to leave. Somebody try to help me understand it. Always seems like a double standard. They be out here leaving us empty-handed. To certain rights we are not granted. The media is the culprit when it comes to the comparison. Cause when it comes to race, they always changing up the narratives. Terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. We still out here trying to get our reparations, but the government pump faking out here hesitating. I'm out here trying to keep my peace, so I keep meditating. The media make us look bad, they taint our reputation. Look, it's so sad that COVID causing toe tags. You claim you so patriotic, but you ain't wearing no mask. You out here wildin' with your MAGA flags and showing your ass. You wanna be part of some type of revolution so bad. Look, you talk revolution and constitutional rights, homie. I guess we forgot about back in the days when all of the business was whites only. Yeah. George Floyd got justice. Juneteenth got much respect. They made it a national holiday. Man, it's all good, but cut the check. They're giving out all of these vaccines, putting it in you like caffeine. Was it all in the part of the plan? I bet money like DraftKings. It's land of the free, home of the brave. 1776, we wasn't free till 1865, so we wasn't part of that shit. And that there's terrorism.
Terrorism.
You sure looking good tonight, baby. I just wanna make sweet love to you tonight, baby.
Come on.
If you don't mind, let me tell you.
Hey there, sexy lady of my dreams. Can I have you here with me? I just wanna love you down. Yeah. Making you scream my name. Loving your body. I'll be kissing your body. And I'll be caressing your body. Oh, baby, just come on. Loving your body. I'll be loving, feeling your body. I'm gonna touching your body all night, baby. Now I'm about to fulfill your fantasy. So come a little closer, bring your body to me. I'm trying to take my time, I won't rush at all. Cause you deserve the best. I'm gonna love, I'm gonna kissing your body until the morning comes. Oh baby, just Come on, come on. And let me feel and I just wanna touch your body. If you don't mind, baby, let me love your body. I just wanna kiss in your body. Don't stop me, baby. Kiss in your body. Oh, baby, baby. Come on, come on. And let me feel your body. Please, baby, touch your body. Baby, 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 baby. La 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 la. Oh, baby. Please, please. Oh, please, baby. We're gonna get it on. Tonight, let's get it on. Get it on. I wanna.
You are listening to the Mace Jackson Show. Hopefully you're watching it now. I am your host, Mace Jackson, Ruthie Moore, and DJ Riis the Ruler. Tennille, we heard you, so we disconnected all y'all restreamers from YouTube. Y'all some haters. No, I'm just playing. Welcome back to the Mace Jackson Show. We had a little camera difficulty, but we are back. We are rocking and rolling. I think Riis, we didn't wipe down all the way, Ruthie.
That's why we got to just switch to regular radio.
No, he wiped down too much and knocked the cord out. You see, Ruthie?
Nah, I wiped down. You can't wipe down too much after
We don't even need these cameras.
Oh, Ruthie, we need these cameras.
We don't need these cameras.
Ruthie, you don't want a camera? You famous.
No.
Ruthie, they be loving you in the morning. They be like, Ruthie more. Then when you be out in the street, they be like, Ruthie.
I'd be like, hey.
Right. They wouldn't know it was you if you didn't have a camera.
That's how I prefer it.
Ruthie, you don't like...
I recognize your voice. You have a very familiar voice.
And then you be like, nah, not me. That's what... Riis be like, Riis. You be like,
Riis.
They be like, I know that voice.
I get that almost every Saturday now.
Really?
Yeah, I be going out and then they be like,
I recognize
that voice. They be like,
you on the Mace Jackson Show.
Yeah, they be like, Riis the Ruler. I be like, yeah. They be like, man, let's see you every morning, man. You know, a white person actually told me 2 weeks ago. I was pretty shocked. I was like, that has to be an uncomfortable watch for you.
No, white people love it.
They like it.
White people love it. They be like, whoop us some more.
I'm going to tune into that maze.
Whoop us some more. We love, they like that. They get their white guilt out. They be like, Maze, you're right. You're. Can I tell you what? You know who the biggest opposition to Maze Jackson is? Black people.
Like you.
Black people. Black people be like, don't be saying that stuff. White people be like, hey, man.
You's gonna get us in trouble, man.
You gonna say all that?
No, I feel like people respect you for standing up for your own. Like, I think everybody out there, like, I really don't, do y'all feel like I'm against anybody? I don't feel like I'm ever really against anybody. I mean, I talk about everybody, though, right? I give you a nickname, I call you, but I equally talk about people, but I don't think I'm ever really against anybody. I just be like, they taking our lunch too. I be like, you hungry? Because they sure eating off what you did. Now, I think some people, what's funny?
Because I think sometimes it'd be like, okay, we all over here starving. Why you got to say it, Maze? We all hungry. If I think they'd be like, be mad at you.
Somebody got to say it.
But Ruthie, everybody ain't hungry. See? Everybody.
Hungry is relative.
Yeah, okay. I agree. 100% agree. All right, y'all. It's the Mace Jackson Show. Ruthie, update. You just said 628. What happened?
I need to stay off of Google because I just see it's another article. ABC 7 got released at 6:38. The title is I-57 shooting. Woman shot him back near 159th and Street in Markham.
Now, ain't Markham by 57?
They shut down I-57 northbound.
Now
159th.
Now check this out. We just
opened them back up this morning at 6:20.
Now the crazy part about that is we was just talking about the sniper that was found on 57. Now you would think now that that's out there, and they can go back to saying, well, he wasn't the issue, but that means that his team is like, okay, we got to pop somebody off so that we can get Ruthie. It's a squad.
It's getting a little bit.
It's getting real. Hey y'all, that's why y'all gotta stop being, every time y'all see them white people, y'all got to make them look twice. You got to, you know how you be mean mugging brothers? When you brothers?
I mean mug everybody.
See, I told you.
It's more like an awareness, like I see you.
Right. Well, I think we gotta be like, see what you know how we be just happily go lucky. You be like, the white guy be hard. You be like,
it's hard though, because 57 white people take 57 too. You know, you see a white person in the hood, you be like, what they doing, buying drugs? You know what I mean?
on 57, they be like,
but I-57, they be on I-57.
They be like, they go 57, but when they on 57, but you know nowadays if you see them stop anywhere by Sibley, if they don't go past Sibley, they start asking questions once you start well, no, I can't say that now. It used to be once you got past Sibley. First of all, it used to be once you got past 103rd. Then it got to be once you got past Sibley. Then it got, 103rd, 119th, then Sibley. Now, if you on 57 and you get, it's almost to Kankakee now. White folks, like how far are they, like Frankfurt? Like it used to be, like I remember when you was going, like Oswego. Like, I mean, there wasn't even no expressway to Oswego. The white folks done moved so far that they done built the expressways around the outer limit. Now 355 can take you from the south suburbs all the way to Schaumburg.
Wait. Okay, so I done just literally went too far down the rabbit hole. But you know on Monday, September 13th, that a man died on the Bishop Ford in an expressway shooting?
No.
Neither did I. And me and you read the news
every day.
Pretty good. 3 days ago this happened.
They popping us up. I feel like it's target practice. It's like fishing in a barrel. It's like fishing in a barrel, yo. It's like you can shoot a black person and nobody really will have any expectation. Think about it. Like you can come here and train people on how to kill black people and there would be we have a 2% clearance rate. So you could literally have something about this. You know what I'm going to just say? There's something in me that says how hard it is for me to believe that as quote unquote bad as our kids can be, that they that damn bad. Right? Like there's something, and don't get mad at me, because I know when I start talking about the kids, you be acting funny. You be 2 days later, you be still mad. But I'm just telling you. I'm just saying though. I do feel like there's something in me that says we ain't that far gone. That
I mean, historically, like, serial killer profiles are normally, white men. And so we know that these crimes wasn't really quite fitting the profile that we know of our people. All of us ain't crazy. Like, it's something going on.
Riis said, yes, we are. Look at Riis.
You said we crazy.
Riis.
But think about this. Like if you're on 57, right? If anybody ever shot a gun, right? It's particularly if you ever shot a gun at a moving target. Now think about a moving target going. What's the average speed? About on a good day, you at least maybe going 40 or 50.
I hope you're going faster than anyway, but okay.
So I'm just saying, like if it's like a little bit of traffic, like you at least going about 40. So it's just a lot of questions. I just have way too many questions.
Because and now brothers got guns with sniper rifles. Now first if you told me that the cars got sprayed and they got hit with a 50 drum, I'd be like, okay. But if you telling me that it's like, okay, that's a real good point, Ruthie. A moving target at 40 miles an hour and you hitting.
One shot.
Even if it's 3. That's what a brother's gun would sound like. It would be like 20 cars got shot because they shot the joint and didn't realize, and then their hand would have went up, and then it would have shot everything, and then some kid would have got shot in the window. When those happen, I think, okay,
Black people,
I think that when you hear the random somebody, then I feel like that's it. When you hear somebody came out the alley, pulled up, the girl pulled up, and she got shot because she was on the wrong side, and he hopped out. I believe those. The ones where it's just like, okay, we just had a mass, like we've had a mass shooting every week, damn near. You telling me that can't be practiced? Cuz this sniper thing only makes what we were talking about last week. That who? Let me ask a question. Who has a sense of urgency if black people get killed? Like if the mayor and the superintendent don't believe it could be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can come up here and do anything you want to do, really. Remember how you was talking about, Riis, you know, like when you was in Chicago and you went down south and did something? Like, if you was doing something in Chicago, the police would just pull you over there and be like, man, keep moving. If you did it in especially in Charleston, what that, Mattoon? Ain't y'all? Charleston, Mattoon, right? Right? Hey, let me tell you, bro. What, bro? They was locking you up. You could get years for the same thing they'd throw away.
That's a fact.
Years.
That is a fact.
And so I'm just looking at this thing saying, hey, y'all, if white supremacy was on the rise, there was a war ground that, man, we did battle on O Block. I'm just telling you. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I don't want to be no conspiracy theorist. But Ruthie, I want to know more background about the guy, the shooter that they caught. Like, was he military? What's he involved in? And you know, Blue Island is one of them in between places where, you know, they still got the pockets of racist, like straight white boy racists. You know, like, cause that and Midlothian, like in that area. I told you the first time I ever saw the Ku Klux Klan was in Midlothian. Like, actually marching as a kid, burned in my memory forever.
Oh, wow.
Burned in my memory forever. So I think we got to keep an eye on these shootings now, for real. And we got to take, and I do feel like, can I ask a question before this? Like, do you think the inference was that it was black people shooting people on the expressway?
Yes.
I just want to make sure I'm not crazy.
You ain't. Yes.
And so now that we've got this white terrorist in custody, because what you doing on foot by the expressway?
in your sniper perch.
Ruthie, what you know about sniper?
I'm just saying. I play Call of Duty.
Oh. See? They training killers every day. It's like a simulator, ain't it?
If he was ex-military, then
I mean, he would be no different than Kyle Rittenhouse.
Exactly. Or a lot of these ex-military trained people that are now leading these terroristic white cells.
Terrorist cells. The oath takers, the Proud Boys, all of them got military-ish. Remember they talked, did you see the story about how they said the military have been become a breeding ground for white supremacy as well as the police departments?
Oh my goodness, absolutely.
And then remember the sister who was in Indiana in the custody of the police, and then she wound up dead for shoplifting. Yeah, we talked about it. Remember, I can't think of Tyanisha. And she had gotten arrested, and she told her parents that she was in this jail, and she was on $500 bond, and they was beating her, and she died on the way to the jail. Y'all remember when we talked about that story? See, it's so common for us to be telling these type of stories that y'all. Whew. Let's take a quick break. Like a quick one. Get you some news, traffic, and weather, and then we'll be back. It's the Maze Jackson Show.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Oh, man. They done messed around and gave New Era Chicago their own radio show. What they do that for?
You done messed up!
So what we doing, bro?
Man, we talk about power.
Did you say power?
Not rights and equality, but power. We ain't begging, we building.
In that order, Chicago, and we got dope segments. Hey, yo, sis, holla at them.
Peace and love, family. It's Sister E of New Era Chicago in the building, dropping the statistics, holistics, and of course the ballistics. Good for the mind, body, and the soul. Let's get it, family.
And this your boy D Cook coming with straight facts. If you don't know, now you know.
And this is your other sister, Omo Oya Music, coming in peace, love, and light, getting real with my people so we can quit with the bull spit.
And this brother E, and I'm gonna wrap it up with the power surge.
Listen, it's going down every Wednesday night, 5 to 6 p.m. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It's the Black Power Hour, New Era Chicago Radio on What's in It for the Black People Media.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
All love it.
Yeah, I love being black.
traffic and weather.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 7:09 a.m. and I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area sports weather and traffic update. In sports, the Chicago Cubs in Philadelphia taking on the Phillies. Game tied 5-5 in the bottom of the ninth. A pass ball by the catcher as the pitcher pitched was enough as the Phillies would score from the runner from third, would run it in, and they would beat the Cubs 6-5 on an error. The Chicago White Sox at home taking on the Angels. Game tied 2-2. Angels outfielder Brandon Marsh would hit a solo homer that will be enough to beat the Sox 3-2. Over the traffic on the Kennedy, O'Hare to the Loop is 30 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare will be 24 on the Eden. Inbound from Deerfield to the Exchange is 42 minutes. Exchange to Deerfield will be 35. On the Eisenhower, Thorndale to the Loop is 49 minutes. Back out to Thorndale will be 52. On the Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan is 52 minutes. Outbound will be 39. The Bishop Ford is 52 minutes to the Dan Ryan, 28 minutes back out to I-80. The Dan Ryan is 17 minutes to the Loop, 16 minutes to 95th. DuSable Lakeshore Drive is 8 minutes all around, 55th to Jackson, Jackson to 55th, Randolph to Bryn Mawr, as well as Bryn Mawr back to Randolph. The weather is currently 64 and clear. Today will be a high of 81 with a low of 63. I'm Riis the Ruler. Now here's Rona Money on the Maze Jackson Show.
I got that 10K the other day, but it's already gone away. I had some bills that I had to pay. I need my money, my Rona money. Y'all know the hustle. I need my money, my Rona money. My 10K. Y'all know the hustle for that bag. Went to the ATM.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in it for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
If you ain't trying to help us, don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies now of the politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze and Riis and Ruthie and Todd, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't trying to help us, they ain't trying to do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect you oppressed to solve.
Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Ruthie Moore. Also got DJ Riis the Ruler, Mr. Business in the Front, Party in the Back. Ruthie Moore, did you know was yesterday Mexican Independence Day? What was it? Because I got yesterday at about 9 o'clock, I was coming home. I got trapped on Roosevelt. I'm just going to tell you, I was a little nervous.
I was a lot of bit nervous. I was in, you call it when you can't move forward, can't move backwards, can't go to the left, can't go to the right?
Trapped.
Trapped.
Like I was yesterday, and it's like how it was like people riding in the back of pickup trucks outside.
They was standing on the Jeeps on top of the cars.
They was drinking and driving. It was
crazy.
And I'm just gonna say, if we would have been doing what happened yesterday downtown, do y'all understand they would have called out the military?
No, precisely.
It was crazy. It's like
traffic was the police they literally couldn't control the traffic.
Yo, yesterday was a little nerve-wracking. I'm just wondering, I feel like they got us for Juneteenth this year. So we're going to have to either step our game up. Joe.
That's what I said, man. We got to act crazy. Like we got to, you know what I'm saying?
We'll get shot, dog.
Let us do
They'll be shot. This is no longer our city. It's like they was celebrating. Yeah, and can I just tell y'all how deep it was yesterday for all of everything that happened? Because like when they announced Pedro Martinez as the new CEO, it was like a celebration because the Latinos officially I feel like this is transition week in Illinois for quote unquote minorities. I feel like they were having a dual celebration. Like they were celebrating their Mexican Independence Day, but they were also celebrating the fact that they was now the largest and 40,000 away from becoming the majority in this city.
Did they have permits to do this?
Hey man, you don't need no permit. We talk about, hey man, this is a welcoming, you are welcome to do what you want. Now, you know what? Can we, so I have a whole series today that my whole thing, and I just got off with this shooter. But the social media question of the day, you can go ahead and hit it, Riis, real quick. Hit the big voice, because we're going to run it all together. So
it's time for the social media question of the day.
Ruthie, I want to know, what leverage do black people have in Illinois? Or are we an innocuous mass? Now, when I say, Riis, why you looking at me like that?
Ain't got no leverage.
I look at you, been looking. Oh, you've been reading the paper. So I know, but seriously, what leverage do black people have in Illinois? Like, we got a lot of us still. It's rapidly shrinking, but we got a lot of us. But we won't do jack. And so, are we an innocuous mass? You know, what? Innocuous. You know, you don't really have no effect. It's like, you can't solve nothing, but it's a lot of you. What do we have influence over in Chicago? Because I'm going to tell you that it is my belief that we are right now in the midst of transition week, and the title is being passed voluntarily to the Latino community. And so as this transition happens, I gotta ask us, what is our leverage? Like, what do we have to bring to the table that as the roll-up starts to happen, that they be like, hey man, you gotta be careful of the blacks because of this. What leverage do we have? What do we control? What do we run? What can we make happen? What can we stop? And it's interesting, and I'm going to roll this into the transition of the education community. Now, to me, the way to economic freedom begins, the way to freedom begins with education. Understanding who you are, where you are, how you fit into this whole thing that we got. For all of the years that we've controlled quote unquote, these spots. And let's just be clear though, we really haven't always controlled the spots. We really just kind of got used to Dr. Janice Jackson here recently. And she was like our own personal superstar. So we got caught up in the... But when you look at who has controlled the education of our youth, it's how we get to this point. If you think about the education of black people, it has been on a downward spiral as it relates to power. And if you think about the education process for Latinos, it's been about empowerment. So even as our young people have been educated, they've been educated to be innocuous. They've been educated to be multicultural. They've been educated to welcome people into our cipher with no demand. So now here we sit. As the transition of education, and I gotta remind you, when I was in MLI, they said you gotta find a base. To win something, you gotta find a base. In the black community, they always thought it was the church. For the Latinos, it was the schools, because they always thought that their kids came here to do better, so you could get the parents engaged by dealing through their kids. And every child equaled 2 parents, which meant that they had a mass political movement that they could work through politics, through education. Organize a school, and all the parents that are invested in their children will be involved. That is how UNO spread their schools and got 10 schools. Because they understood that they wanted to control the education. We all understand, do not send your children to the enemy to be educated. So what they did was they created their own schools. And now here we sit 20 years later, right? 20 years later from when they created that, and one of their own is now returning to take over the school system. That's done. I don't have a problem with Pedro Martinez. I don't have a problem with nobody Latino. None. But now as we look at this new reality that we are facing, because again, we allowed ourselves to minimize the role of citizenship, which was our leverage. You gave that up. You can't even use citizen. So right now you're about to have your lunch taken because you couldn't say, no, citizenship matters. So now we're sitting here facing, because you were told that you were a xenophobe and a racist, because we fought to be citizens all of this time, and by the time we finally get there, y'all done cut it. Y'all have taken the value out of it in Chicago. So now here we sit. Juan Salgado, think about the years that we spent fomenting the relationship between CPS and city colleges, right? That black women put in place, that now that the infrastructure took all of the bad stuff, dealt with all of the challenges, right? And now you figured out. So now that Kennedy King is now this premier school in Inglewood, but Inglewood's transitioning. Now Malcolm X is the Center for Nursing, but it has more Latino students than black. Right? Now that you got the schools out in the South, is it Prairie State, and they've built the new they've built the what's the one that's in the hundreds, right off of
Olive Harvey.
Olive Harvey has now become a logistics training hub where you get a 2-year certificate and can go on to make $80,000-$90,000 a year, and you can go straight from CPS. And now they're telling you that CPS is almost 50% Latino. I'm not mad. But now I got to ask the question, who are the black people at the table on the black education issues? Right? Like, we took for granted that Dr. Jackson would have the back of our children. So even when it was the good Reverend Dr. We Shall Overcome Forrest Claypool, in the CEO spot, we had Dr. Janice Jackson as the chief operating officer, knowing that some way, shape, or form that deep down she would have some empathy for our children. You are now looking at the transition. Now, let me also tell you that during the era of the good Reverend Dr. Forrest Claypool, we shall overcome Claypool, we also had, remember when Leon Finney was telling us how great Forrest Claypool was, even as he was lying, but he was in that education space. At least we knew that there was a black person in the education space. Remember when they used all the black people to shut down the schools in Inglewood to consolidate them to now build this best school? What is Inglewood rapidly becoming? So now I gotta ask you, who is the black advocate at the table for our children in the education system? So here's the players to me. You got the mayor. The mayor has already cast her lot with the Latinos. That's cool. You got CPS, which, as part of the natural progression, when the old leave, the new come in. So let's not even call it a bad thing. It's politics. We're going to see CPS be more reflective of the student population, which means that we should expect that 50% of the staff should be, or close to 50% should be Latino. Remember, they told us the data. That's what they're moving on right now. I'm not mad. So now, as we have seeded, because we've already given up the second spot. Not that we ever had the second spot, but we've given up the spot of the chosen minority, because when you look at them tell the Pedro Martinez story, he came here, his family came here from Mexico when he was a child. He was educated at CPS. He then grew up in the system. He was Arnie Duncan's chief financial officer. Now, I need y'all to understand that he was that when he was in his 30s. Now, I just need for y'all to help me understand. Name a black person that even got that shot in their 30s. But that's that whole premise I was telling you about the MLIs and the Latinos saying we're going to have a farm system, a farm league. Mm-hmm. And so now, as that 20-year plan has been laid out, it's now coming to fruition. No shade to nobody, because we let it happen to ourselves. We walked around, we clapped, and we patted each other on the back. We took pictures. We was at all the parties. We still at the parties. We still kicking it. Remember I told you remember for us the night of when everybody was, Black Chicago was like, Yeezy. I'm with Yeezy. We at the Yeezy concert. I'm going to the listener party. And the Latinos was toasting it up. Like, we back. It's our time now. Then they came out and told you, like, Joe, I'm not mad that Gilbert Villegas said we don't want no equity. Because I've been telling you equity been playing us bogus anyway. And now, who are our allies? I mean, I think now you got to ask, who needs to be your ally? Who aligns with no one who sees pride in being with their own people? Like, why does anybody need to be why does anybody need to be in an alliance with black folks? Not a power alliance. It's like you roll with us or get rolled over. Because now I gotta ask you, who is the black person at the table? And if you think, I'm not tripping, much love to Stacey Davis Gates, but stay tuned to watch an emerging Latino come from CTU. Right? Because now, as they move forward, it's like, remember what I told you about Latinos when they be at the meeting? Even if we on the same side, we want to be negotiating with each other. So I just was curious, y'all. What leverage do black people have? And in more particular, who are the black people that are at the table for black children in the education space, considering that we now, when you go down the list, who are the black people that are going to be the vociferous advocates for black children? Those voices have been eliminated. You know, you got people like Rosita Shatanda, but they've been marginalized, right? They've been pushed to a corner. I think when you think about the transition of the school population, we know that CTU is no longer majority black, right? So we've lost in every space. So my question becomes, as we have to be forced to teach LGBT history and Latino history, what happens to all the schools that are in those mixed areas? What happened to the black kids in those schools? What has happened historically as this transition has happened? I think we can take a look at Los Angeles. It was not a good thing for black people. I think we saw the beginnings of that during the uprisings. We saw that they were willing to take up arms to put their warrior class, and nobody got out of the way. There was nobody standing there like, this is wrong. Well, there was a couple people. Because remember, they had the Black and Brown March. The Black and Brown March. A shout out to Will Calloway and Berto and Roberto and all of those guys that were doing that. But it's always like, don't get us to march. Go get your guys. Right? Like, don't come and tell us we got to march through Pilsen, or Little Village. Get your guys and be like, they should be able to move around like we should. And now I'm saying, think about this, Ruthie. As this transition happened, even when there was a bloody revolt, I need y'all to put this in perspective. I left the other station because I told them that they were actually abusing our people, and the black people at the other station said, don't talk about that. Who is our leverage? So as this, I just need for y'all to understand, because everybody is going to pit me as being anti this, and there's going to be people who are going to raise money on or go get more props from the mayor because they're going to say Maze Jackson is anti this. I am not anti anybody. I am asking who has the black people's back now that this world has changed. Now that we can't give the Black Girl Magic props to Janice Jackson, where we felt like we knew at least, because they're telling the same story. He grew up in CPS. He was a product, but he was on the economic side. And remember, part of the reason that every one of those children that go to school, they get money for. Remember, it's a $6 billion, CPS is a $6 billion industry. That's contracts. That's business. That's outsourced. That's legal. That's law. Remember, we left education. Janice Jackson was the only education-based CEO. Everybody else was economics.
Good point.
Let's talk about it more when we come back. It's the Maze Jackson Show. What leverage do black people have, and who is at the table for black people in the education space now? We'll talk about it more when we come back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
WIIFTVPN.
Monster Jam. Coming to Allstate Arena September 17th through 19th. Brought to you by BKT Tires. Visit monsterjam.com for event details. You have to see it live, so get your tickets today.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Black Moji app today.
And now, traffic and weather.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 7:34 a.m. and I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area sports, traffic, and weather update. In sports, the Chicago Cubs in Philadelphia taking on the Phillies. Game tied in the bottom of the ninth, but the ball would get past the catcher as the runner from third will score, and the Phillies will beat the Cubs 6-5 on an error. The Chicago White Sox at home taking on the Angels. Game tied 2-2 in the eighth. Angels outfielder Brandon Marsh would hit a solo homer in the eighth that would be enough to beat the Sox as they lose 3-2. Over the traffic, on the Kennedy, O'Hare to the Loop is up to 63 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare will be 48. On the Eden, inbound from Deerfield to the Exchange is 60 minutes. Exchange to Deerfield will be 34. On the Eisenhower, Thorndale to the Loop is 74 minutes. Back out to Thorndale will be 47. The Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan is 77 minutes. Outbound will be 43. The Bishop Ford from I-80 to the Dan Ryan is 71 minutes. 29 minutes back out to I-80. The Dan Ryan is 22 minutes to the Loop, 16 minutes to 95th. DuSable Lacer Drive is still 8 minutes all around. The South 55th to Jackson, Jackson to 55th, and North. Randolph to Bryn Mawr, and Bryn Mawr back to Randolph. Today's weather, it is currently 65 and sunny. Today will be a high of 81 with a low of 63. I'm Riis the Ruler. That was your sports weather traffic update. Now here's Valerie on the Maze Jackson Show.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water and I think of all the things what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale. Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tan. I hope you find the right man who'll fix it for you. And are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? And did you have to pay that fine that you've been dodging all the time? Are you still dizzy? Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Oh, stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over there?
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Ruthie Moore in the building, plus DJ Riis the Ruler. Hey, Riis, open up the phone lines. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Ruthie, in this new world that we live in, who advocates for black children? What leverage do we have in this world? In black, I don't like how you be making them faces when I be asking me. These are serious questions. They serious, Ruthie.
I don't got the answers.
Ruthie, you always got the answers. Burn it down.
It's kind of sad that we don't have the answer.
Well, you know, first of all, I think, here's what I think the first thing we got to do. and I know people get mad at me for doing this, but I don't even think anybody's ever even posed these questions. Like when people go into the room, I don't even think that there is the discussion of power. I don't know that. I think everybody is so used to just, okay, let's pass it, let's go on. I don't think anybody has really thought about the residual effects. I think about, when I was thinking about this Pedro Martinez, think about he was here in 2003 to 2009 with Arnie Duncan. From 2003 to 2009. So what's that? 2003, that was how many years? What's that?
18.
Right, thank you, Reese. So 18 years ago, the foundation for this was being laid. And if it was 18 years ago, it was 20 to 25. So think about in the year 2000, what was going down. And like you are seeing over the course of 2 decades, could you imagine what has happened in a time-lapse photography? Like if you could time-lapse photography everything that has happened in this time period, and you could literally watch what has happened to black people. Guys, we've come up short. Like, and I swear to God, I feel like when I go on vacation, which is every time I go on vacation, it'd be cool to just be chilling on the beach and just not doing nothing. And then when it's time to go, I'd be like, dang, I should have. So now we're at the end of the vacation is over.
Yeah. Like
I'm not trying, and it's like, and everything else is basically saber rattling, right? Like people like, we're gonna stand up. Like you already know we already on the slippery slope of give. You just had the top swordsman for black people in the political realm just bent the knee to the Latino community. And will come back and be elected by us to manage the transition up to Latino power. Do y'all understand that? Like, do y'all understand that the black folks told us that this week they were going to be, that the agenda in the racial equity week, that the agenda was how do we get more Latinx power? That's a black person telling us that. Now, I don't mind if you have the head of your department, somebody come up, but did you see yesterday what happened with the Latino coalition?
He said they dropped their flags and came together.
They dropped their flags and they came together. Ruthie, what leverage do we have? And Reese, anybody call? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Who gonna be the leverage for black kids? Also, Reese, what I want you to do is pop that road on, because I want to hit some. I want y'all to see this press conference yesterday. Cause while I'm still being called troublemaker, right? Remember when I told y'all they was having the meetings? Remember when they were having the Latinos were meeting and organizing the meetings for the census at the Urban League? Mm-hmm. And y'all, and I tried to tell y'all, open up the phone lines. Let's go to the live line. Brian, you're on the Maze Jackson show.
Yeah, good morning, Maze. How you doing this morning?
I'm a little ticked off. What's up?
I'm going to tell you something. I'm finna tick you off more.
No, you're not.
You need to tell me black girl magic didn't lead into black power. I look at what happened the last 10 years. Black girl magic ended up embracing the LGBTQ community, illegal immigrants. And another thing, masculine straight black men need not apply, bro. You might as well go on about your business. That's how they destroyed us. And 2, this weed, we got to get this weed out of our community. It just dumbed us down like hell. But thanks for hearing me.
Thank you. I'm not going to trip on Black Girl Magic, but what I am going to point out is what I want to point out about Black Girl Magic is that there is a concerted effort to separate black men and black women. We saw that even when they released the report of the racial equity, and they said that Latino business was up 95%, whereas black women business at the county was up 75%, as if black men did not exist. Riis, let's go to the live line. You're on the Maze Jackson Show. You connected to the road through the phone right now, right? Okay, so after that, we'll do it when we do it. Go ahead, caller. You on the Maze Jackson Show.
Hey, Brother Maze, I'm sorry. I was so anxious on this. I hit the freaking pound key before you said my name. But listen,
what's up, Brother Frank?
What's up? Good morning to you all. Ruthie, Riis, good morning, you guys. This is a much-needed discussion, and we need to be totally honest. The Brother Bryant just knocked it out the park. He had me up to the weed thing. We always had weed knocked me. Don't blame it on weed. Okay? It's like this, Brother Maze. The attack on the black man to displace him, the strategy behind that, to displace him in his household, is the root cause, and it is being successful. Everything that we're talking about, including the violence in our community, can be linked directly to that. Now, you compare us to the Hispanic, okay? The Hispanic male is and will always be the head of his household, which grants out to the fact he's the head of the community, okay? It's hard to step over and disregard a group of men coming to you saying, what do you do? This. Black women or women can be easily, you know what I'm saying, looked over and ignored. But the point I'm making is this. The reason being because the Hispanic population is basically Catholic. In the Catholic arena, in the Catholic faith, divorce is strictly forbidden. In other words, there's going to be none of this, I just don't want to be married anymore, and taking his kids from him. You don't see it in the Hispanic community. All of this can be directly tied to the black man being displaced at the head of his household. I'm going to hop off now, but I think y'all know where I'm headed to, which direction I'm trying to set, because I'm going to take it from my stand from other callers. But it all boils down to this. Until we become back the head of our household, and there's a way to get back in there. We're going to continue to see our numbers drop, our political power drop, and our community destroyed. It's working for the man. We black men, we got to take back our household. And there's a way to do it. My time is up. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, Brother Frank. Ruthie, I noticed you got your shoes on.
Listen, black men, black women, we can play the blame game.
No, I don't think we got to play the blame game.
Don't be calling up people with that crap. I'm trying to hear that.
Ruthie, you don't think that there's a role for black men?
Everybody trying to hear him talk about, we ain't trying to lay black girl magic in the black power. Okay, what's your solution?
Let me ask a question, though. Do you think that there is a concerted effort to split us up?
Yes.
Okay. And I think the big thing for us is we can't play into that. Riis, did I connect? Okay, cool. I want to see. I feel like I got to make sure that y'all are clear that I'm not against I'm not against the Latino community. That's not my point. My point is us having our own power and recognizing that we've been inextricably linked, and now that we've bought into the inextricable linkage, guess what's happening now? They're disconnecting. They ain't gonna be saying black and brown. They like, you know, it's like a booster rocket. You know how like y'all fly up together and then the rocket drop off, then the one go to the moon? Mm-hmm. We getting dropped off right now. And here's something that I felt like we needed. Ruthie, I think everybody needs to check this out. And I don't want it to be, I keep saying, and I feel like I got to keep reiterating this. Because what black folks will do is they will take what I say, and Ruthie, what they will try to do is make it be like I'm anti somebody else.
I said this earlier in the week that the reason why black people, particularly black elected officials, don't be talking the rhetoric is because if they're labeled as anti, it could be political suicide for them. That's what they do.
Now check this out though. I want y'all to see how we gotta act, and then I want y'all to see how they act. Ready? Here we go. I'm going to play this news conference from yesterday on Fox 32. Can you turn me up? Okay, so it's not connected. Hold on. Oh, yeah, it is. Hold on. Come on, don't be a hater. Well, anyway, yesterday there was a press conference held by the... What is going on with my internets? See, this would be happening. Now, we got all this internet, and now y'all want to tell me we can't get the video to play? I got all the internets in the world, Ruthie. All of them. Let me just recycle and see if we can get it back. All right, y'all. So, anyway, yesterday there was an announcement of a coalition by the Latino community in the wake of all of the reporting. And it's like, I felt like in watching this, Ruthie, is it wrong to be envious of other people? Riis, am I connected? Okay, hold on. Let's see.
Today, Congressman Chuy Garcia is launching a new coalition. It is called the Latino Elected and Appointed Officials Coalition. It's going to be composed of federal, state, community, municipal, elected, and appointed officials. Its goal is to increase political representation for the Latino population and address things like equity in public schools, criminal justice reform, and health care access.
For the first time in history, we came together, leaving political camps aside, to say enough is enough. Latinos deserve more, and we have to make sure that every single level of office, agency, and commission keeps Latinos at the center.
Latinos are the largest ethnic group in Illinois, Cook County, and Chicago.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, it's like, do y'all remember when I was on the Narcos kick? Y'all remember when I was talking about Narcos every day and uniting the favelas? Did anybody watch Narcos?
I'm familiar.
Okay, so Narcos is about the creating of the drug industry, how it moved from Colombia to Mexico, and how it was a bunch of disconnected Mexican cartels that were united by one guy that created like this network. And they recognized that, look, we have been fighting for 20 years or 30 years, and we could all be getting compound rich if we work together. And I watch these movies and I see them playing out in real life, and they always focus on our disunity. Like, they come into our spaces. Think about the fact that there was a time when even in Chicago, the drug trade was controlled by you. Like, we have given up control of everything. Like, literally now other people can come into our neighborhoods and do anything that they want to do. Now we're going to, who is our advocate? You could cut off the road and take the phone calls. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Because Ruthie, they straight, it's here now. And so now I got to say, who do we rely on to be the voice of black people in the community? And Earl, you say black people fighting brown is stupid. It's not fighting brown. It is.
What does that mean?
What?
Somebody said fighting brown?
Black and brown people fighting. It's not us fighting. It's like, the reality is we're not on this. Their agenda is not the same as yours. And so you can keep trying to align with someone who ain't trying to align with you. You ever chase somebody? You ever want to be with somebody that don't want to be with you? So they tolerate you, right? They use you when it's time to go get blunts and beer, right? It's 3:00 in the morning, nobody answers the phone, they'll roll through. And then they'll tell you, in the midst, they'll be like, "No, you know how it is. You know I love you." Well, you probably won't say I love you, but you know, what we got is what we got. We don't need what that song say. We don't need no labels, right? That's that song we play. We don't need no labels. Meanwhile, they out there proposing to everybody else. I'm not suggesting we got to fight. I'm suggesting that you got to come to the table as a player. You don't come to the table as a chick. You coming to the table. You don't want to be somebody's date at the table. You don't want them to say, "Hey, you can eat this. You can order off the kids' menu." I'm saying that at every table, somebody got to be at the table saying, "Okay, y'all got 50, we got 30. What's left for the white boys?" But who going to say we want our 30? Because if you don't say nothing, guess what? They'll redistribute your 30.
You ain't getting nothing.
Right. And what our problem is that when we want to advocate for our own interests, we're taught that that's being against somebody. We ain't fighting. It's the table. Stop minimizing your value. Like, we deserve our peace. And speaking up and being about your peace does not mean you're against anybody. But give me mine. Don't y'all be eating, don't be passing stuff out, then be like, because I said, "Hey, yo, I'm hungry too." You over there bothering people for? You troublemaker. Troublemaker. I want to eat too. And the same Negroes, and I'm not talking about you, Earl, but the same Negroes that be starving be the mugs telling you don't eat. Be quiet. Let's just starve over here in peace. I'm straight though. Nah, nigga, I'm hungry. Excuse me. And if it's a table and they chopping, and the only people willing to convince themselves that they shouldn't get something is us. Let's go to the live line. Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show.
Hey, what's going on now? How y'all doing?
Ticked off. Go ahead.
All right, so dig it, right? I've watched this, man, and so I'm going to try to put this down in the timeline. First job I had was with my mother, because she owned her own business. She used to clean up her beauty shop. And, we used to doctor our birth certificate. So I think it was about 13, 14. I know I was going into my freshman year. So 13, the summer, when I was 13, I doctored my joint. My cousin was working at McDonald's. I started working at McDonald's. So let's go to 92. McDonald's offered us $10 to go train Hispanics in Schaumburg.
I remember that. That happened to me too. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? And that whole transition, I was like, whoa. So now I'm gonna fast forward a bit. I'm watching Hispanics in all of these managerial positions, and they don't hire black people. And and nobody hires black people. I've never seen Sean Wang hire Leroy. But like you say, everybody wants us to be equitable. But there is no equity in any of this. That's warfare. They have unleashed war, economic warfare on us. They don't hire us. They might hire one. You might see one speck, you know what I'm saying, in a sea of brown in any of these places you go now. And I'm not going to say that our young people don't want to work, but we certainly taught them to aspire for more. You know what I mean? I don't know how it happened, but my daughter went to Skinner. She was around some good people, and she's doing whatever she needs to do, right? But it is. They have unleashed war on us, man. You got Harriet Tubman School. I saw 2 black kids and no black teachers. So I know I'm bouncing around, but man, yeah.
Oh, you know what?
This thing is really wicked, man.
Caller, I'm telling you, you bounced around because it's like, it's overwhelming. Like, we saw it with the jobs. We saw it when we drive through our neighborhoods. and there's people working and we ain't got no jobs. Do y'all remember the time I posted about I was on 63rd and I posted a picture of like 60 Latinos working in our neighborhood. And, you know, black people started commenting and they came over and said, y'all lazy asses don't want to work, blah, 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 blah. And I was just saying like, yo, I'm just saying like, can we work in our own neighborhoods? And people feel like the economic largesse in our neighborhoods is theirs to pillage. Hey, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Everybody listening to us on WBGX 1570, I want to tell you thank you. You can continue this conversation. We're going to continue the calls. Plus, we got more. I want to talk about weed, and I want to talk about gambling. It's all going down. Plus, who's our advocate? It's the Maze Jackson Show. Because, you know what? And in the grain of this, I want to show you how our birthright is easily transferred. And I didn't even see it, but as I had this conversation, it just... You know, I've told you they be revealing stuff to me. We're going to talk about how our birthright has been stolen in increments. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Church Chicago's Power Hour. I'm your host, Angie Mims, and
Terrence Keys, TD, a.k.a. Terrence Daniels.
I wish I had one witness in the house.
You got one. You got a couple of them. Got two T's.
Give me a testimony.
Oh, Lord. He's did it before. Oh, Lord.
I got one. Something better. I got 5 reasons.
5 reasons. Oh, Lord. He turned it around.
Turn it around. He woke me up this morning.
Oh. Don't do this. Don't do this.
Go
number
ahead.
4?
He woke me up this morning.
Come on, number 3. Come.
He woke me up.
Oh, Lord.
He woke you up.
That thing can touch you.
I'm
One
telling
of
you.
them 5s will get you. What's the second one?
He woke
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh my God.
And the number 1 reason.
Number 1. Final answer.
He woke me up this morning.
He woke me up this morning.
That's a testimony.
That's a
Turn that thing
testimony.
And now, traffic and weather.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 8:02 a.m. and I'm Riis the Ruler with a short Chicagoland area sports traffic and weather update. In sports, the Chicago Cubs lose to the Philadelphia Phillies on an error in the bottom of the ninth, 6-5. The Chicago White Sox at home taking on the Angels as they will also lose to a homer in the 8th against the Angels, 3-2. Over the traffic on Kennedy, O'Hare to the Loop, 58 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare will be 26 on the Eden. Inbound from Deerfield to the Exchange will be 60. Exchange to Deerfield will be 32. On the Eisenhower, Thorndale to the Loop, 57 minutes. Back out to Thorndale will be 41. On the Stevenson from I-355 to the Den Ryan, 75 minutes. Outbound will be 41. The Bishop Ford, I-80 to the Dan Ryan is 76 minutes. 29 minutes back out to I-80. The Dan Ryan is 24 minutes to the Loop. 16 minutes back out to 95th. DuSable Lakeshore Drive South, 55th to Jackson is 10 minutes. Jackson to 55th will be 7. North Randolph to Bryn Mawr will be 8. Bryn Mawr to Randolph will be 15. Today's weather is currently 66 and sunny. Today, expect a high of 81 and a low of 63. I'm Riis the Ruler. Here's a little black girl magic on the Maze Jackson Show.
She walks exudes of confidence, not afraid to take a chance. Talent grace is in her blood from the ancestors above. She is light, she is truth, taking names, making bold moves. Evident in everything she do. She is me, she is you. Little bit of both, little bit of rock with a whole lot of soul. You are girl magic. It's your crown, very proud. Sing it strong, sing it loud.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stoger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts. Man, Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. So many shady characters like Madigan and Blotto. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm the seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this is a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host in the building. She cracking her knuckles. She getting ready to pop somebody. Ruthie, you ever pop somebody?
No.
Never?
No.
Like never backhand? Psh.
No.
Across the lip? Psh. You ever get backhanded?
I don't feel no need to put my hands on people like that.
Psh. You ever get backhanded?
No.
Dang.
Don't put your hands on me like that.
I'm talking about your mama.
Don't put your hands on me like that.
You ain't say that to your mama. Your mama. Yeah, okay. All right. Asia. Call your mama. Because Ruthie talking about your mama.
I didn't grow up in a house with those types of whoopings. But those types of.
It was about.
With that type of abuse.
That's not abuse.
A backhand?
Oh, man. You know, every once in a while. You know, flip you over the couch or something. Just to remind you who the man is.
No.
Well, you was a girl.
I'm good.
You got brothers?
Yep.
Did they ever get the...
Maze, I am the...
Did they ever...
I'm the fighter, Maze.
Ruthie, you don't seem very fighty.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even get myself worked up like that. I'm too cool for all that. Too cool. Just too cool.
You just too cool.
Too cool. I feel like if you putting your hands on people, like, to me, it ain't no coming back from that.
Oh, okay. All right. That's your problem. See,
ain't no coming back from that.
See, just stay in the kitchen. You ain't got to have these problems.
Listen,
I don't want no cake. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Maze, Ruthie, and DJ Riis, the ruler. Riis, anybody on the phone lines? Okay, nobody on the phone lines. So, did anybody figure out who the black superhero gonna be? Cause we need one. We don't need another hero. Maze Jack. Man, they man, you know how many? There's too many arrows in my back already. And then it's too many arrows and knives in my back. You know, the second I was to say something, they'd be like, I don't think he is. Nah, you know, you step up, black folks be like, hey, yeah, I ain't up under him. And I ain't trying to be up over nobody, no way. So, I want to talk about, as we talk about this, Ruthie, we were having this conversation, and I was wondering, how do we get to a point over 20 years where we lose everything? Right? And I think it's the reverse of 1 for me, 1 for you, 2 for you, 1, 2 for me. You know that on the cartoon, and I used to never understand that. Like, how does it would be like 1 for you, 1 for me, 2 for you, 1, 2 for me, 3 for you, 1, 2, 3 for me. And I never could figure it out when I was a kid. I was like, it makes sense. He got 3, he got 3. And then as I got older, I was like, oh, it's compounded. Right? So we got he's getting compound interest. So I was wondering if I was to take the time lapse helicopter all the way up. And let's say I was wondering, how do black people wind up with less with more people with titles? And then I saw this story of, I think the man's name is Michael Alter. Do you know who Michael Alter is?
No.
Michael Alter is the principal owner of the Chicago Sky. Right? And he was in the paper today for being fined for lobbying the mayor to get a sports book without registering. Now, a sports book, remember when I told y'all when for the Super Bowl last year, the white boys made 10 white guys made $45 million in 3 hours? Remember that? So this white guy wants in, right? Because he owns the Chicago Sky. And then remember, we saw the thing where the owners like of the Bulls and the Cubs were trying to get sports betting allowed at their facilities as well, and the White Sox. And so in that, you know, the fight would be black folks don't have any piece of gaming at all, right? We ain't got the sports, the VGT machines make upwards of $50 million a month. No black ownership, no black partnership. As a matter of fact, their organization is trying to put felonies on black people that have a way in to protect their money. And I want you to put a pin in that because I want to talk about how these white guys and these other groups use the system to keep us out, which is important in this cannabis debate. And I'm going to push that to the side. So I was reading the story, Ruthie, and you know I've been fighting to find places for black people to get in on the gaming industry, right? Like while I talked a lot about the cannabis industry, remember how I was telling you about the sweepstakes and all of those just different entities where there were access points for black people to get in, but white folks was blocking. But now in this era post George Floyd, white boys who used to be able to just go make their money rich with wealth, go get rich, because he already a basketball team owner, so he rich. Now he wants to go get rich through using sports betting. But now in this world that we live in, especially when black folks got the black agenda and we got Black Caucus and you know George Floyd, all the white guys know that the best way to move is to find a black partner. Now, if the black partner is already rich, then who does it help? Now let me compound that. If the black piece is given to somebody who's got 2% ownership as compared to black people who have 80% ownership in their industry, but the black guy has the bigger name and everybody wants to help, he takes 2 points and goes to his house and leaving the rest of us who had 80 or 90% out because he's got the big brand. So what's happening right now is this Michael Alter is the principal owner of the Chicago Sky. John Rogers is his minority partner, but you know who John Rogers is, right? Multi-millionaire, $1 billion under, Ariel Capital Management. Respect to John Rogers. But black folks in political power will allow white people to say, help John and you'll be helping your people. And John takes 2% or 5% or 10%, and that becomes our piece of the whole industry. So now what you find is that the white folks find the same 10 black people who got $100 million or 10 or $20 million to invest and say, we want to be partners with you. Instead of, so now what happens is we all run up the hill to help the rich black dude get rich and we get cut out. So now imagine that multiplied times every industry.
Ooh.
Over 20 years. Right? Over 20 years, remember the time I told you when we had cut the $30 million deal with the rental car industry, and we had gotten the rental car industry to say they were going to spend $30 million a month. They needed something really bad. Mm-hmm. They got it from the Black Caucus, and they promised to give $30 million a year in annual business spends to black business. Do you remember when I went to the meeting I told y'all, and into this meeting comes one of the largest black minority diversity companies to show the white people how they could spend make it seem like they spend 30 million, but really spend half of it. And I never forget, I got out of there, I called Carl West, and I was like, Carl, I figured out how we've lost all this money. We got black people that show white people how to minimize their contribution as long as they get their piece. And I just couldn't. And so now here we sit. And I swear to God, I have no issue with John Rogers and sports betting. But you mean to tell me that the way we're going to open up sports betting is to make the guy that's got an interest in the WNBA rich? Instead of saying, who are the black people that already have an interest in the gaming? What do they say? How do they say? Like, this is just one of many entities. How is he going to make more black people rich? What, you going to get a job wiping down the machines as compared to owning machines? So now imagine that process and multiply it times 20 years across every industry. So everybody you got is saying, I'll take less, give it to me. You only got to give me 5 points on the deal because that 5 points is going to make me multiple millions. So I'm straight. And then you can put me out in front and say, I'll go talk to all the black people and say, help me by myself. No plan for everybody else. No plan for inclusion. Mm. How about even if you find one black person that's new? Like making John Rogers rich for his family, I'm not tripping on him.
Gatekeepers.
I feel like y'all, you like when think about they was just selling us that the Black Caucus expanded the requirements to ensure that the richest black people can stay minorities and benefit from it, and we still ain't brought. When's the last time we made a new black millionaire? And not a minor black millionaire, a majority black millionaire. A black millionaire that is in control, not is thankful that some white person comes up and says, I made him. One of the most irritating things in the whole world to me is when white people come up to me and tell me about the black people that they made rich. You made that punk rich because he made you 10 times richer. Because who gets to deny, like, nobody's going to deny the brother that got 2 points on the deal. Because we don't get 2 points on the deal until we realize that nobody eats if you say no. But you don't even understand leverage. I started this thing out by saying, what leverage do black people have in Illinois? You see, it's a reason that they pick the people that they pick to get wealthy with. Because guess what? I'm not coming in the meeting being like, you're better than me. They don't like me coming into the meeting, sitting across the table. Let me tell you, if I come to a meeting with a lawyer and then everybody be like, why you bring a lawyer? What you mean why I bring a lawyer? We doing business, right? Where's our leverage?
It is in the power of the gatekeepers. I'm trying to tell you.
But we be excited when they come around.
Hoping some money fall out of their
pockets.
pockets.
That is exactly what happens instead of running their pockets. We be like, ooh, hopefully he'll see me and pick me. And then he gets to go and say, oh, I gave him a job as my driver. Because they don't see you as equal to them. And they don't want to see you on the level of them. And the white folks don't want to make no uncomfortable black millionaires because guess what? We ain't going to be... I'm not dancing at the meeting. I'm not smiling. We came to eat. It's tough. And so when I saw this story of this Michael Alter, the reason that I went here the way I'm going, Ruthie, is because if you were to listen to, even in the discussions of the casinos and all, who are the new millionaires? How many times you gotta go back to the same people to make them rich? No, I'm just saying.
Man, it's the system. It is the Chicago way. It's the Illinois way. It's the black way.
But Ruthie, like I was asking, like if y'all gonna expand the requirements to allow black people to stay in the group, do they at least have a mentoring requirement that they have to, by the time they give out this program, they gotta have made at least another millionaire?
See, part of the problem is capitalism.
Oh, Lord.
And it's the way that capitalism don't work the same way for us, or we don't make it work the same way for us. Because what you just described, you want me to mentor you so you can get rich?
Yeah, because, Ruthie, I don't want to be... I'm tired of coming to the party and being there by myself. I take no pleasure in going places and being there by myself. Like, I don't want to be at the party by myself. I want all y'all to come. I want us to, instead of being in the corner and being a troublemaker, I want it to be a corner full of all us who is all kicking it and partying and doing the same thing. And when we decide we want to have something happen, we could be at a party having a drink and decide that person has got a problem now. And we can affect that change. I watch it happen at white parties all the time. I watch as these white boys be in our joints, calling black people in power who make them rich by their first name. And I'm sitting over in the corner being the troublemaker while they like him. Look, man, they be passing money between each other. You call up a black, oh, you gonna offend somebody white. Like, I think everybody should be a little nervous that we, like, I feel like if we ever decided we were going to count, if we were ever going to put math, can you imagine if we put math to the last 20 years? Like, where did it happen? Right? Like, because I'm going to tell you this week, you literally saw the symbolic transition.
No, it was not symbolic.
Well, no, I think, and I'm going to say it's symbolic until the president relieves herself of the seat. Right? She like, you can have it after my expectation is that the Latinos would be next up for every major spot. Every major spot that a black person is they feel like they gonna be. You saw what Chewy said. You know, so you gotta understand that when you see Chewy and Susanna Mendoza standing up at the same place, hey yo, they uniting the favelas. They like our collective interest. We can look. They said in the movie, like, did you see Colors, Ruthie?
Mm-mm.
See you, little baby. Colors. There's this scene in Colors when the old cop is talking to Sean Penn and they at the top and he tells a story about the bull. And the bull, he says, hey, the young bull says, hey, Dad, let's run down there and bang one of them cows.
Mm-hmm.
And the dad says, no, son, let's walk down and we can bang them all. And it's the same thing right now. Look, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson show. I feel like we've given up our power. And nobody wants to talk about it. It's like everybody wants to be like, it's on somebody else. and quiet as it's kept, I would tell you that the masses are completely unaware, and the people that have allowed it to happen will not be in play when it comes to full fruition. Right? Like, our kids knew, think about Harriet Tubman School is now Latino. When do they change the name? When does the Latino community say, we don't want no Harriet Tubman School? When does Malcolm X change? You want to see a story? Have you ever seen a story of what happened in Compton? Remember, I always think of Compton as a black place, from Eazy-E and all that. You Google the race situation in Compton. Also, you should look at what's happened in like the California prison system. As blacks we used to dominate the prison system. Not that that's but now blacks have to be in protective custody in the prison system. They have to protect them because the Latino numbers have become so great. And the Latinos, when they realized they had the power, was like, we can kill them all.
Oh.
Now, I'm saying that power is real. It's like we don't even talk about it. We don't talk about practicing it. We don't.
It's the system. The current system that we have set up just don't work for us because the people that we literally go through the democratic process to elect, some of them can't even say the word black.
You see, Chewy and them didn't have no problems. They did not say nothing about no Latino and brown, black, Latino and black, nothing, did they? No, they did not. They ain't thinking about you.
Yeah, they just covered up the Black Lives Matter with the.
Think about, did you see that on the video?
I saw it.
They covered up the Black Lives Matter pillars. That was on they pills and pillars because they was like, all right, we don't need none of that right now. They didn't line it up next to it. They didn't put it. You couldn't see them both in the camera shot. This wasn't what that was about. Pay attention to the next time somebody black say black. Somebody black in power just say black. Is it wrong for us to even advocate for like Ruthie, I feel like we've been taught, like, you know how when people say black, like they won't say it out loud? You know how they whisper, the black people. It's like there's nothing embarrassing about being black. There's nothing. I don't feel bad when white people say black people. Matter of fact, you need to start saying black people. It's like we've allowed the black to be a stigma. Somebody say black people, we shrink instead of stand up. We look down. We think about them. We become embarrassed. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I am your host, Maze Jackson. And it ain't morning. You late. You come talking about some morning, y'all. It's 7. It's 8 o'clock. It's 8:30. Go, Riis looking like what? I'm talking to Toy. Late. Coming up here late. Just like ready. Late. Talk about some. They be coming in. What we miss? Be here at 6 o'clock like everybody else. Hey, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
WIIFTVPN.
Monster Jam. Coming to Allstate Arena September 17th through 19th. Brought to you by BKT Tires. Visit monsterjam.com for event details. You have to see it live, so get your tickets today.
Broken screen? Crash system? Are you in need of spyware or virus removal from your computer? Well, contact RPC Computer Repair in South Shore and let us help you with all your computer repair services and print needs. Need office or print production services, copies, scans, fax, or even notary service? Then stop by and support RPC Computer Repair and Print Shop located 1741 East 71st Street in the 71st Street corridor, newly revitalized South Shore areas, and let RPC be your one-stop shop, where we believe RPC is your PC. RPC Computer Repair is also a UPS access point where you can drop off and pick up your important packages. So let RPC be of service to you. Call RPC Computer Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. through 6 p.m. at 773-966-4457. That's 773-966-4457. Visit RPC at rpccomputeringinc.com for more information.
And now, traffic and weather.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 8:32 a.m. and I am Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area sports, traffic, and weather update. In sports, the Chicago Cubs lose to the Philadelphia Phillies 6-5. The Chicago White Sox also lose as they lose to the Angels 3-2. Over the traffic on the Kennedy O'Hare to the Loop is 76 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare will be 19. On the Eden inbound from Deerfield to Exchange is 69 minutes. Exchange to Deerfield will be 29. The Eisenhower Thorndale to the Loop is 79 minutes. Back out to Thorndale will be 41. On the Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan is 80 minutes. Outbound will be 43. The Bishop Ford I-80 to the Dan Ryan is 74 minutes. 28 minutes back out to I-80. The Dan Ryan is still 24 minutes to the Loop and 16 minutes back out to 95th. DuSable Lakes are dry south. 55th to Jackson is 12 minutes. Jackson to 55th is 7. On the north side of things, Randolph to Bryn Mawr is 8, but Bryn Mawr to Randolph will be 10. Today's weather, it is currently 71 and sunny. Today will be a high of 81 with a low of 63. I'm Riis the Ruler. Now back to the Maze Jackson Show.
I don't know what you did, but you did it right. Girl, you make it look so easy. Everywhere you go, there's turning left and right. Can't say you a dime, you're a 20 piece. Cause girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got not over my. I can look and see you're not an average chick. You're shutting it down everywhere you go. Girl, I want you as bad as I want a check. Cause you're sexy from head to toe. Girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good?
With your hair done, nails done. When you put your grown on. It's something about you. When you put your grown on. When you're waking up, straight out of bed, girl, why you gotta look so good? Oh, when you're at the job, just taking a break, girl, why you gotta look so good? In the club, turning up, why you gotta look so good? On the dance floor, giving more.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got Ruthie, the researcher, over here doing her thing. I'm your host, doing my thing. Riis, the ruler, on the ones and twos. Hey, y'all. We got a, hold on. Anyway, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Ruthie Moore, as well as Riis, the ruler. Hey, y'all. So I want to also just draw your attention to the cannabis scenario. So, Ruthie, did you see that the 184 cannabis licenses are on hold? And that today the Sun-Times ran a story about, what's her name? I'm trying to see her name. Brittany Capri. And Brittany Capri, what's the matter, Riis?
I think Ruthie froze.
I don't. She don't look froze to me. She moving. See, Riis?
Real still.
She real still. You gotta watch the blink.
Stealthy.
So, Ruthie,
Brittany Capri.
the story of Brittany Capri, it was like a sob story in the Sun-Times today about the black woman who left her job, created the cannabis business, to pursue a full-time life in cannabis. She got her license, and now she's stuck in a state of limbo. Stuck in a state of limbo, i.e. she doesn't know if she's going to be able to actually keep her license. Not actually keep her license. She doesn't know if she's actually won. Because even though she's been given a lottery and she won the license, now there's a lawsuit suggesting that they're going to have to redo the whole lottery.
So that means people got to put them back in the pool?
Uh-huh.
No way.
Ain't no way.
Yes.
No way.
Ain't no way.
Oh, ain't no way. Ain't no. It's a church. That's a church song.
He wouldn't get it.
What? I wouldn't get it. It's another song.
It's a new,
It's a meme.
Yeah, it's like a new meme.
Like a TikTok type of thing.
Ain't no way.
Oh.
Ain't no way.
What? Ain't no. What? Let me just tell you.
That is wild. Do they get
No. Go ahead. Ask me.
do they get money for having a?
No.
Oh.
But there's a few things that I want to point out here. The first thing is that this worked out that way. So, as a practitioner of dark arts, you have to be willing to accomplish your goal. You have to be willing to look at multiple ways to skin the cat. So if I can't beat you legislatively, what do? I either use the executive branch or I use the court branch, right? And so what is the goal of the big cannabis companies? To eliminate the opportunity for anybody to compete with them. So what happens? But what does J.B. Pritzker need? He needs this thing to go away, right? He's got to go on an election campaign and he needs the black vote to turn out. So he can't have this thing hanging over his head, i.e. he wasn't equitable with the cannabis. So what do, Ruthie? When you got all your friends in, they got their businesses, they're open, they're popping, they're tipping. And I want you to pay attention to the last names of the people who owned, because there is something to it. You're not allowed to say it, but there's meetings and then there's meetings behind the meetings that we never see.
Come on now.
So now here's what you have. You have all of the people that JB wanted in business who are doing well, who control the industry. They don't want to see it expanded, but JB needs to get it off his plate. Because he can't come around to your black neighborhood after raising a black power fist for George Floyd and then be like, cannabis, we didn't get cannabis. So what does he do? He says, have your draft, have your lottery, get everybody all excited, and then tie them up in court. And then while you tie them up in court, what happens while you're tied up in court? Even if you won, you running out of money. So now I can buy low. So now all the people that got licenses, you wait 6 months after they done been starved out. Guess what you're going to do? If I call you with $750,000, you're going to take it. Black man with no money, $750,000, I'm taking it. But I got to back you up again. Because what also happened, what was the crown jewel in cannabis? To be able to sell in the central region of downtown. What happened this week? It passed. And under what guise did they pass it? Mayor Lightfoot said, we have been waiting for all of these opportunities for black and brown businesses to now be able to take advantage of it. Because remember, she told us that a long time ago. So then they used this fake lottery to open up downtown, even though the black people don't know that they got a license. So now what they were reserving for black people to take advantage of is now open to the white folks who currently have the licenses, while you wait to find out even if your license is valid, because you got to throw it back in the pile to be possibly to be repicked again, according to the judge. Now, I want you to look at all the last names involved. I want you to look at the players that are involved, right? I want you to look at the biggest companies, and I'm not going to say it out loud, but there's some common denominators of who's been winning in this. So in the meantime, we're happy to take the 2 points on the deal, whereas we could have had 98. So what you'll find is at the end of this, we'll have 2% of the multi-billion-dollar cannabis industry over 2 years, over the course of time. Remember how I was telling you how they slide? It's like it don't happen all at once. Mm-hmm. So let me break it down for you. J.B. Pritzker is now going into his 3 years. He promised cannabis. He has made the biggest cannabis industry in the country, right in Chicago, with 0% black participation. And now he about to run to your neighborhood and tell you why you need to vote for him. But if he doesn't have those licenses distributed, somebody like Mays Jackson, the troublemaker, is going to say, man, y'all, that could potentially be a firestorm. So what do? Have the lottery. And then blame it on the courts. Right? It's not on me. And then what do? Then you pass another bill and you come to the neighborhood with the energy bill that they passed. And that's the new star. You've become an environmentalist. All the while, black people, nobody black is still participating. What you call that, finesse? See how you just got finessed? And then let me tell you, by the time the lawsuit, because you know if you're rich and you white, the way you deal with it is you stretch you out in court. Because I ain't got free money they making cannabis money. And who fuels? And check this out. I want to point out to you in the paper today. Did you see, Ruthie, that right next to it? So the entry points that black people have to get in is this Delta 8 THC. Right? Which is, they're calling it diet weed, but now all of a sudden, the federal government that don't have nothing to do with cannabis is now regulating Delta 8, which is less than THC Delta 9, but they're saying that 119 people went to jail. So now went to the hospital over the course of a year.
Ain't nobody died.
Nobody died, went to the hospital over the course of a year, and now they're using the same tactics to criminalize that. That's dangerous, but this weed over here is good.
Right.
Do y'all see? Like, this is like, and we can't even, it's like I be sitting here watching all of these things play out. Like, they have these articles right next to each other. So as they're telling us about the cannabis license, the opportunity for you to participate in CBD and Delta 8, which is one step low, it gets you high, just don't get you as high. It's like, that's what they tell you. Because you know cannabis has 3 bazillion derivative products. Same plant. But now all of a sudden, because a black person found a loophole, now we got to shut that loophole down while we still make billions selling the higher grade. So you telling me that if you sell mid and it's legal, that's more dangerous than high grade? So basically they saying mid is illegal. If you got mid, because we can't regulate it, because we can't eat off that, although right now, not one of y'all got a cannabis license. And then let me just add insult to injury. We can't even have a handshake deal with black folks to keep black folks in business.
Uh-oh. Just like to point out that I've been saying that for months, that we don't do business with each other right, and that handshake deals.
Ruthie, I'm going to tell you, I went above and beyond I knew this moment was going to happen, where everybody who was going to win a license wasn't going to have the money.
Mm-hmm. I mean, think about it. How can they compete with these multi-million dollar publicly traded companies?
So now,
ain't no way.
We assemble few $1 million to go purchase some. And you can't even shake a black man's hand across the table and say, let's get a deal done, because it's a white boy telling you I could do a better deal than you. And the white boy, here go the crazy part. You betting on the black people, and the white boy like, I don't know why you betting on your boy. He be like, nah, man, we solid, we straight. It's going to be all good. This is a black opportunity for black people to do better. The black group is going to go ahead. We gonna beat you on this. White boys show you your papers that you sent to the black people in confidentiality. Because they trying to leverage what you're doing to get better deal out the white boy.
Mm. It's like 7 lawsuits about this right now.
Well, because guess what? And 7 lawsuits means every one of them, how long they going to stretch?
Exactly.
How long does each one stretch out? To stop the lottery, to stop you from getting, which means that all the time you sitting on this lottery, you done quit your job, you done did everything. So now you done imagine your hopes being all the way up here.
There's a few people like that. Some people done sign these leases. And what they doing with the space?
Paying a premium on rent.
I don't really understand how this is going to work.
Very simply.
What you think?
The same way they bought your houses on contract, the same way that the same people that took our neighborhoods, she left. The same people that took our neighborhoods, the same people that sold us houses on contract, the same people that gave us credit terms that were exorbitant, the same people that created payday loans, they're going to use the same tactics. See, you don't have an infinite amount of money to wait it out. So can I tell you what happened? So let me just tell you what happened. What happened was they released all the licenses and there became a frenzy. And all the people with licenses who was trying to sell was thinking they was going to get all the way over. So we couldn't have because a white guy could put another stack of money. I could put more money than you seen. Another white guy put a stack of money and we jump. All the time. And sometimes God don't make no mistakes because he let you know who you're supposed to be dealing with and who you're not supposed to be dealing with. Mm. So what wound up happening was the white boys got a word that there was going to be a lawsuit. So they said, hold on the prices. They said stop. Look, it was a frenzy. They was like 6, 7, 7, 8, 6. Then they got the word like, just hold up. So the prices froze. Now the prices are dropping because now all these people, they don't even know if their license is going to count.
They bleeding. And they bleeding in purgatory right now.
Yep. Bleed them out. So that, what you could have got $6 million for, by the time it's all good, you get $1 million. That you got to split up.
So if you already won a license, you might have to potentially put all those back in the pot.
Mm-hmm.
From every drawing that
I
they
believe
did.
so. Whoa. And so what becomes crazy?
Whoa.
All the supplementaries, the last 3, right? They did not the first one, but the other 3. And somebody can correct me on that, but here goes the issue.
Whoa.
Now the people who were the initial winners, you defined yourself in the next set of negotiations if you win again.
You know who getting rich? The attorneys.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and the white boy is going to get rich too. Because they're going to be able to pick all this stuff up off the ground. All we got to do is wait. Family. Who is our advocate? Who is keeping score for black people? Like, do y'all understand that the point of this whole thing is they tricked you into not being able to talk about yourself, and then they want you to not count? All I'm asking everybody here to do is to do the math all the time. Put the math in the computer and and it ain't personal. I admire what the Latinos are being able to do. Quite frankly, I'm a tad bit jealous. Because there was a time when I said, what's in it for the black people, and y'all made fun of me. What's in it for Maze? He trying to... And this week when we heard, think about the most powerful black person in politics carrying the Latino agenda. I'm not against it, but like, you gonna deliver it? Like, can you at least invite the speaker up? Can it be both of us? Can we move forward together? Like, what? Like, when it's them, it's the Latinx agenda. There ain't no Latinx and brown and black agenda. Like, it was so crazy to me to think about all the times when we say black, we automatically have to say black and brown. The same people that do that, when they said they was going to move the Latinx agenda forward, never said one word about you Negroes. And I got to smile. And I'm the troublemaker. I got to be cool. I'm tired of black folks talking ourselves out of what we deserve. I'm tired of us convincing ourselves. Everybody else makes their own crews rich, wealthy, whatever. They try to advance them. And it's painful, this whole no counting thing. Hey, Ruthie, it's $6 billion at CPS. $6 billion. You realize the milk contract? Do you realize who gonna be? You think Reggio's gonna be serving pizza still, or you think we're gonna be having tacos and burritos at CPS school? And I'm not tripping. I love a good burrito. But who does that contract go to? And I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be same 3 Negroes talking about some. They gonna be putting them up in front. They'll be at. They get along with every single politician because they stay at the front. They not gonna fight. They gonna say, ooh, I could fill that hole. But I gotta ask you, where are our black people that have done well? When the last time we seen them? Besides on selfies, besides telling me you in Paris, besides telling me you living the life as everybody else struggling. Because it's 6 of y'all. And who is the next generation? Right? Because my generation is clearly skipped over. But who gonna make Ruthie rich? What black person can put you on? I see you, young person, you out there. Here, let me give you a nudge. But we about to give up our birthright again. Like, no shade. But if Michael Alter has a piece of the black, if Michael Alter controls what the black gaming interests are, we screwed up, y'all. Like, how many people have been helped in the black community over? Ruthie, who's done better who's done good in the last 20 years black? Comparatively to white people. Well, I don't even give you 20 because you was probably 10. Like, Ruthie, who have you seen advance in 10 years?
It depends on, I think it's about perception. Everybody has their perception of success.
Okay. Economic.
Again, I think it's relative. You know, we say 100K, and you pretty much at the top of the chain in our communities.
Bunch of $100,000 ninjas with no vision of $1 million. You know what I was thinking of? This makes me think of AOC. Did you see AOC at the Met Gala?
That dress she got on?
Tax the Rich.
Mm-hmm.
She had on a big old white dress with red words on it that said tax the rich. But you know what I noticed? She was at the party. Just gave her an excuse to be at the party. It was a $35,000 ticket. How can I? And that's what I feel like so many times happens. Like people, like when our elected officials come, they be like, I'm just like y'all. I'm fighting the power. But you at the party, kicking it, eating your cake and ice cream.
I don't care about that. Just bring us some.
But that's my point. She out there selling y'all that we got to burn it down while she inside kicking it. I don't have a problem with anybody doing well. That's my point. Like, some people just want to go to the party. They ain't even interested in eating at the party. They just want to be able to send you a picture to say, I was at the party, you wasn't. Ninja, you hungry too. You just don't know it. You had a bowl of rice. So you know what happened when you ate a bowl of rice?
Your stomach gets swelled up.
Pass a little gas, and the next thing you know, you hungry again. Just telling you. That's how they do you. Feed you a bowl of rice. Y'all be running around talking about, I'm full. Y'all tripping. Sugar and butter on the rice I'll take with mine. Thank you. All right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my girl, Ruthie Moore. Ruthie, you seem so deep in thought. What's up, kid?
I'm just tired of this. I'm really tired of talking and advocating for people who I just really don't see no burn it down. That's it. I mean, literally, if we keep doing the same stuff over and over, voting in the same people or not voting, like we just gonna keep on being in the same situation.
And we gotta stop saying we don't vote. That Deacon, you gotta stop saying that, because if we didn't vote, it wouldn't be all this Democratic power. Let me just tell you. It's like, that's why I said we're innocuous mass. It's a lot of us that can't do jack. What you gonna do? Baddest man hit my hand first. Ain't nobody black hitting that. I'm just saying. Just think about that. Baddest man hit, if it's black, white, and Latino in a room. Baddest in Chicago. And it's our politicians. Who hitting my hand first? Ain't, Thomas, Chewy gonna slap it all the way around. It's gonna be a Irishman trying to knock it off. Brother's gonna be in the corner like, y'all just tell me who win and what I get.
Oh.
I don't want no part of that. I might get in the fight. You know what I always noticed though about when I used to get into a fight, win or lose? It made me tougher. And then when I realized I was going to survive, it made me ready to be ready. Hey, I ain't going to, I might not win, but you going to know I was here. Who knows that the black people are still here?
We won't even say black. Nobody.
The people, the people of color.
Good God.
Hey, Thomas.
I'm going on vacation.
No, you're not.
Just so y'all know,
no, you're not.
Maze ain't fired me. I ain't quit, but I'm finna be gone. I need a break.
You just came back.
I need a break.
You just came back.
I need a mental health break.
Hey, this mental health is out of hand, Ruthie. It's out of
you
hand.
crazy or something?
I'm gonna just need you to just eat some ranch sauce and just.
No, she need ranch and hot sauce. Mix it up. Oh, y'all, that mean Ruthie gonna be gone for a week. That mean we need a guest co-host or something.
Who wanna come in and talk to me? And
Don't nobody
want
want to talk. Don't nobody want to talk to me.
Somebody tag Todd and tell him to come in. Tag him.
We gonna tag
Todd on
Todd.
Facebook.
We gonna tag Todd for real. Hey, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, Ruthie Moore, Riis the Ruler. Asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Oh, what? No. Adios. Ay, caramba, we out of here. Peace.
Today, the Biden administration is releasing what it calls a new strategy to fight domestic terrorism. Following a 100-day review, federal officials are now laying out a new plan hoping to deter, detect, and prosecute domestic terror.
They went to the Capitol waving their flags and looking for smoke. He was out there looking for justice. They was over there looking for votes. Ashley Babbitt was with him and told all the people that nothing could stop us. She climbed through the Capitol window, breached security, and called a shot, bro. The media say she a veteran. They paint the picture to make her look greater. But she disrespected the same country that she served. That makes her a traitor. They was fighting police, resisting arrest. On God, I couldn't believe it. I guess blue lives only tend to really matter when it's convenient. Hey, these are the times we witness in history. All because they didn't get a victory. United States is so contradictory. We get equal rights, that's a mystery. Politicians, they more like magicians. You know they got tricks up their sleeve. We point out the flaws that's up in this country. You know they gon' tell us to leave. Somebody try to help me understand it. Always seems like a double standard. They be out here leaving us empty-handed to certain rights we are not granted. The media is the culprit when it comes to the comparison. Cause when it comes to race, they always changing up the narratives. Terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. We still out here trying to get our reparations, but the government pump faking out here hesitating. I'm out here trying to keep my peace, so I keep meditating. The media make us look bad, they taint our reputation. Look, it's so sad that COVID causing toe tags. You claim you so patriotic, but you ain't wearing no mask. You out here wilding with your MAGA flags and showing your ass. You wanna be part of some type of revolution so bad. Look, you talk revolution and constitutional rights, homie. I guess we forgot about back in the days when all of the business was whites only. Yeah. George Floyd got justice. Juneteenth got much respect. They made it a national holiday. Man, it's all good, but cut the check. They giving out all of these vaccines, putting it in you like caffeine. Was it all in the part of the plan? I bet money like DraftKings. It's land of the free, home of the brave. 1776, we wasn't free till 1865, so we wasn't part of that shit. And that there is terrorism.
Terrorism. Terrorism. Terrorism. Terrorism. Terrorism. Terrorism. Terrorism. Terrorism.